Hello, what's up everybody and welcome back. My name is Michelle if you're new here. Today I thought it'd be nice to discuss the topic of negative self-talk and kind of differentiating yourself from your thoughts. I used to be really insecure growing up. I was very hard on myself, and I honestly think that the negative thoughts that I had about myself really contributed to that. And most times what's really dangerous about this is that we don't even know that we're doing it. Sometimes we don't notice the negative self-talk, and sometimes we don't notice these thoughts that are causing us to doubt ourselves. When I was in school, I remember every time I made a mistake doing a practice problem or something, I would literally slap myself on the head and I would be like, oh my god, Michelle, you fucking idiot. And for the longest time, I never realized that I was doing it, which is the crazy part, because if somebody was sitting there and saw me do that, they'd be like, what are you doing? But when no one was around, it was pretty easy for me to put myself down for even the simplest mistakes. Or I remember when I was like learning how to drive, when I like made a turn onto the wrong street, I'd be like, Michelle, you're so stupid. And you know, when I was younger, I was like, haha, it's just like self-deprecating humor. Be like, haha, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, until you keep on saying to yourself that you're stupid and you're an idiot, and then you actually believe that you're stupid and you're an idiot. But the older I get, the more I realize how ridiculous these little things that I ridicule myself over are. I don't know if there was a specific moment where I was like, okay, yep, I'm gonna start talking to myself more kindly. But realizing that I actually slap myself on the head when I get practice questions wrong was definitely a wake-up call. And the worst part was when I caught myself doing that, it wasn't even like a, okay, I need to be nicer to myself. It was more like a, I really hope nobody sees me doing this in public, or nobody has ever seen me do this in public, because I do it so instinctively that I don't even realize I'm doing it most of the time. I don't remember what book it was that I read or what video it was that I watched, but it discussed the importance of catching yourself thinking these negative thoughts and sort of be able to look at these thoughts as an observer. Because most of the thoughts that we have about ourselves are fleeting. You know, one day you could feel really good about yourself, and then the next day you could feel totally shitty about yourself, and you have all these negative feelings towards yourself that are not actually true, but they're just a product of your mood at the time. These thoughts don't actually make you what you are. Sorry, my brother just came home from Egypt. Give me a second. Anyways, I think I was saying that we are not our thoughts, because most times our thoughts are just a reflection of our emotional states at the time. Obviously, it's not normal for you to be in a positive mental state 24/7. There will be moments where we're very sure about ourselves and other moments where we think that the world's ending and it's all our fault. And it's okay to have those thoughts, because you can't really stop your thoughts. We think what we think, and negative thoughts are normal. Don't let the toxic positivity movement get you to believe that all negative thoughts are bad and you should only be having positive thoughts all the time. That's not how this works. Having negative thoughts is fine, but recognizing that you are having a negative thought and that you are not defined by that negative thought is very, very important. Like I said before, most times people don't even realize that this is an issue. When I was younger, I didn't even know that I could catch myself having a negative thought, because I thought that I only had like one voice in my head, right? And that was the thoughts. But as I'm getting older, I realized that maybe there's two voices in my head. There's the sporadic and very irrational brain, and there's also the kind of more logical, grounded brain that's like, okay, I'm seeing myself have this thought. This thought, it's not a fact. It's just word vomit. And when you look at it that way, you can kind of slowly teach yourself to catch yourself having a negative thought and seeing it as exactly what it is. It's just a thought. It's not reality. It's not the truth. It's just something that your mind is telling you at the moment. The next moment, it'll probably be gone. I remember a while ago, I used to get these like emotional spirals every couple weeks. I don't know if it was like because of my period or something with my hormones, but I remember I'd have a spiral, I'd cry, and then after I just have all these negative thoughts about myself for the next couple days. And it wasn't until I looked back on it that I realized that I really don't have much of those anymore. And one of the things that really helps me with that is to just understand that I really need to be easier on myself. I stopped calling myself an idiot. I stopped calling myself stupid, even as a joke. Because yeah, there's some times where I did mean it as a joke, but other times I was just so used to saying it that other times I would say it and I actually meant it. And I learned to have more compassion towards myself. Whenever I would mess something up, I would like ruin a project, or I had to start all over again with something. As hard as it was, and even if I didn't really believe it at the time, I would be like, I made a mistake. I'm human and I made a mistake. And I'm not gonna call myself names because of it. I'm not gonna think that I'm dumb because of it. I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do it better. And another thing that I did, which is gonna sound super corny, is to just tell yourself that it's okay. Just like calling myself stupid in the past, telling myself that things are gonna be okay actually led me to genuinely believe believe that everything was gonna be okay, because they are. Things are gonna be okay. Whenever I'd like break something or mess something up, I'd be like, it's okay, Michelle. And I just keep on telling myself, it's okay, it's okay. I hit my leg on the table, it's okay, Michelle. I run into a curb, it's okay, Michelle. Obviously, there are things that are not gonna be okay. With understandable mistakes, you just need to tell yourself it's okay, because it is. I know you guys probably hear this all the time, but talk to yourself as if you were somebody that you really loved and you really cared about, because there's absolutely no way that I would ever call a friend or a loved one stupid or an idiot for making a mistake. It's just something that I always did to myself. I was always like, oh, it's me, I can take it. And it may sound extreme, but I guess I didn't really love myself enough to give myself grace, and I wasn't really patient with myself while I was navigating all these things. But something as simple as saying that it's okay to yourself will really help you in instances of even bigger mistakes or in moments where you are really facing a lot of self-doubt. Another thing that has also really helped me with this negative self-talk and having these intrusive thoughts all the time is meditation. I really didn't take meditation seriously until a couple months ago. I remember I was home alone one day and out of nowhere I just started spiraling. I've talked about this in the past. I've grown apart from a lot of people in my life, and I remember one day I was just sitting in my room. I was like, oh my god, people have come into my life and they have left and it's all my fault. I was just going on this like tangent of like, oh my god, I self-sabotage. And I was just like literally on my bed crying uncontrollably. And I know it sounds corny, but in the midst of it, I was like, okay, wait. I'm gonna let myself cry it out for a bit. And then I sat in this exact spot and I did a 20-minute guided meditation. When I tell you, after that, I literally didn't even think about most of the things that I was crying about anymore. I was fine, I was grounded, and then I made myself some food. Correct me if I'm wrong, but humans, I feel like, are the only creatures on this earth that can like sit in a room by themselves and put themselves in a bad mood. I'm convinced that no other animal does that. And that's exactly what most of us do sometimes. We have these negative thoughts and then we put ourselves in this endless cycle of just negativity all the time. Obviously, I'll never be perfect. I'll have my days where I'm like down. I'm kind of a screw up. I'll always be able to catch myself and say that that's not actually who I am. That's just a fleeting thought. And at the end of the day, what goes on in my brain will never define me, and it will never define you. I can guarantee you have like a bajillion thoughts about yourself on a daily basis. How could all of them be true? They're thoughts, they'll come, they'll go, they'll come back. You are a person. You're not these temporary little mindset fluctuations that happen all the time. Please be kind to yourself. We're all human, we're all trying, and you deserve to have someone be patient with you, especially yourself. Anyways, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you next week.